Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Beautiful deep divers, we're out here in the gold room. Another beautiful day. Look, deep divers, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I woke up like this, all magical and fly. Do you feel alone? Deep divers, do you sometimes wake up and say, oh my gosh, I'm all alone and no one is by my side? Do you sometimes wake up and say, oh my gosh, I'm all alone and not even a cat down the road is by my side? Deep divers, we've all been there. Look, if you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. I said, if you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. I want everyone out there to smash that like button if you support the real. Share this video because someone out there probably feels alone and they need this right now, deep divers. Okay? Hit that like button if you support the real. Someone sent me a message. They're like, Ralph, I love your videos, but recently I've been feeling really lonely. I feel alone, Ralph. It's like no one understands me. It's like I'm living in this world like, and I'm fighting everyone. And I just feel like I'm walking in a path where no one is around me. Please make a video on this because I know you have the answers for me. I know you've got some important information for me, Ralph. How did you know that? Oh my gosh, you're psychic. Congratulations. Look, I absolutely do, deep divers, because once upon a time I found myself alone. And I thought there was something wrong with me. And I actually realized there's a power in being alone. We're going to talk about it all. Are you ready to dive deep, deep divers? I thought so. Well, let's go. Let's breathe, deep divers. Let's go. That was refreshing. Let's go, deep divers. Woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. What are we doing? Raising the frequency. What else? Raising the vibration. Sprinkling that good ass energy on you right now, deep divers. Take that. Take that. Just take all of it. Look, deep divers, if you are watching this video, this is your confirmation that you are about to be celebrating something major soon in the coming new year. I want you to remind yourself every single day that if you feel alone right now, you're not the only one. In fact, millions of people feel alone right now. You know why? Because we're living in a very fast-paced world. We're living in a world which is changing so rapidly, it's hard to keep up. Sometimes you feel alone because no one understands you. Sometimes you feel alone because it's the new year. Sometimes you feel alone because it's the holiday season. Sometimes you feel alone because you're in a relationship and your partner just doesn't get you. Sometimes you feel alone even when there are people around you because you can't really express yourself, right? Well, if you feel alone, be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. Are you ready to dive deep, deep divers? I thought so, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? So wonderful, deep divers, let's talk about it. Let's talk about if you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. Now, why am I showing you Vincent van Gogh? You see, Van Gogh, however you want to pronounce it, deep divers, this artist, very famous artist now, but when he was alive, he felt alone. He felt so alone that in 1888, he actually cut his own ear off. He cut his own ear off because he's like, I feel all alone. People don't appreciate my work. Well, in 1890, he actually took his own life. It was tragic. However, people, after he passed, marveled at his work, said, oh my gosh, he is such an amazing artist, right? And his most famous painting, one of his paintings actually went for nearly $120 million, right? Well, why am I telling you this? Because you see, sometimes people who feel really alone don't realize they have a family who loves them. You see, if you feel alone right now, I want you to know you've got a family who loves you. Ralph, I don't have any family. Wait right there, because you do. You see, even you have people out there, listen, you've never even met who love you. Yes, just like Vincent van Gogh, there are people, fans of his, who absolutely love his works he has never even met. So I give you that example. If you are someone who's like, gosh, I feel all alone right now, I'm here to tell you, there is someone out there in the world who would love to meet the person that you are hiding from the world, who would love to spend a day with you, have a conversation with you, do a little samba baby with you, raise the frequency with you. So you've got to remind yourself, you've got people out there in the world who love you. And don't forget this. When you feel alone, just remind yourself there is someone out there who would love 24 hours with you. If you feel alone, deep divers, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. Okay, look, a lot of people who sometimes feel alone, they forget that you don't want to be in the crowd, because you know the crowd is lost. And a lot of people actually make a conscious choice to be alone. It's not that they're a loner. They just don't want to be around fake people and pretend. That was me along my early journey. I had so many friends, people I could hang around, but I wanted more. And you know, it takes a courageous person to say, you know what, I'm going to choose not to hang around these people. I'm going to choose to be alone because it's good for my mental health. Slow motion. And in the end, you're actually going to thank yourself for that. You see, deep divers, I wrote down, it is better to be alone. It is better to be alone than follow a crowd going in the wrong direction. Slow motion. Yes, it is, deep divers. So a lot of people who you might say, oh, they're alone, they have actually chosen to be alone because it empowers them. And they don't actually feel alone. And truth be told, deep divers, we are never alone. Yeah, we are never alone, even if we tried. You know why? Because everything is connected. That's how awesome the universe is. The universe was like, no, you want to be alone, but you're not going to be alone. You know why? Because I'm going to connect you with someone else. And you see, when you remind yourself, deep divers, we are never alone unless we abandon ourselves. Say it again, Ralph. Slow motion. I said we are never alone unless we abandon ourselves. You see, there are people out there who know this secret. There are people out there who know this secret. They know that they can love themselves, feel good about themselves, and they will never ever feel alone, because they are going to keep that inner light inside of them shining. And this is a secret. If you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information, that we are never alone unless we abandon ourselves. So you want to remind yourself, the first relationship begins with yourself, and form a better relationship with yourself, because you've got to face yourself in the mirror every single night. And if you don't like you and abandon yourself, you're definitely going to be isolated. And we don't want, not even the cat down the road wants that for you. Deep divers, if you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. You see, deep divers, we are never alone. We are never alone, okay? Terence McKenna knew this. Terence McKenna said, culture is not your friend, okay? This great mind who really talked about how human beings evolved from mushrooms, right? Amazing. He said, culture is not your friend. You know, right now, there are a lot of people who are like celebrating holidays, all of that stuff, and it's fantastic. However, you're not here to conform to what everyone else is doing. You can choose to be unique. And you can choose to remember what the great Terence McKenna said: culture is not your friend. You know, when it's Easter, when it's Christmas, when you have these traditions and celebrations, sometimes you're like, actually, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. I want to do my own thing. I want to try something new. And then you might find yourself alone. Well, you don't want to say, oh, no, you want to say, wow, I'm brave for trying something new, because every tradition in society and culture locks us into a prison of normality. So you got to remind yourself you are doing something quite extraordinary. Congratulations. Deep divers, if you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. You see, being alone, along my early journey, I would spend a lot of time alone. And when I look back, I say, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. You know why? Because it allowed me to connect with the greater part of myself. It allowed me to connect with myself, period. There are so many people in the world who are disconnected from who they really are. And they're unhappy, they're depressed, they're full of anxiety. You know why? Because they're afraid to be alone. And I encourage you to embrace being alone, while realizing you can never actually be alone, right? But if you realize, deep divers, being alone helps you to connect with who you really are, the greater part of yourself, the side that society wants to hide in a closet. Deep divers, if you feel like an alone person, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. Look, all of the great masters, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus Christ, right? You always find them meditating alone. Why is that? Why are they alone, yet so many millions of people are in admiration for them? Like, wow, Buddha, the symbol of peace, right? Well, it's because that when you are comfortable in your own skin and have the confidence to be alone, what happens? You reach enlightenment. You can now think for yourself. You now give yourself your own personal identity. Because you see, when you are afraid to be alone, you fit into the crowd, the sheep, and they give you an identity. When you are alone, you give yourself your own identity. You now define yourself. You give yourself your own self-worth. You're empowered. You're not afraid. You lose fear. And that's the reason why all of these great masters, Buddha, they reached enlightenment, because they spent so much time with themselves. If you feel alone, deep divers, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. When I was alone along my early journey, spending a lot of time with myself, it allowed me to accept myself. Even along this early journey of making videos on YouTube, I was spending a lot of time in nature. I still am. And I learned the secret to accept myself. And this is why I can really say whatever I want. Oh yeah, deep divers, I got all the confidence in the world. Because I had to embrace the power of being alone. So when you remind yourself, deep divers, the beauty of the power of being alone is that you can now accept yourself for who you really are. There are so many people in society who are afraid to do that. But once you do, the sky's the limit. If you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information I'm about to share with you. Being alone helped me to know thyself. Gnothiseaton, know thyself. In ancient Greece, they said, know thyself. In ancient Egypt, they said, know thyself. You can only do that when you are alone, because the crowd is the distraction. So there are people on this journey who have spent time with themselves to now know themselves, to know their shadow side, their emotions, what they like, what they don't like. They're empowered. They have no fear. They have true confidence. You know why? Because they spent time alone. They went on the retreat. They went to another country by themselves. They took time out to be with themselves. And now they know themselves. And it's this whole journey of spending days upon days, now months upon months, now years upon years, really forming that relationship with yourself. And that's actually the catalyst to helping you to become your greatest version. Deep divers, if you feel alone, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. You see, the truth is, you can only be a pioneer when you learn how to be alone. Ralph Smart, a pioneer. I'm the first one to do this stuff, deep divers. Do what, Ralph? Well, woo! Breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I had to do that alone. There was no one around. Well, actually, there was a cat down the road around me. But I had to learn the power of being alone, to trust myself. And that's what happens when you are alone. You can learn how to trust yourself. There are so many people who are like, I just want to hang around these people. I'm like, do you like them? They're like, no, I don't. Then I'm like, why are you around them? They're like, well, I don't want to be alone. I'm like, oh my gosh. Facepalm moment, deep divers. For me, I realized it was a gift. I said, wait a second. Nobody is me, and that is my power. I'm going to capitalize on it. And that's what I did. I'm a one of one, an original. And an original is always worth more than a copy. The people who are standing in their truth, being alone, realizing they are actually never alone, are the people who can actually move mountains. These are the people who change society for the better. These are the people we actually gravitate towards. Think of all the people that you admire, deep divers. They had to stand alone in one period of their life and stand up for what they believe in. Because everyone else was going this way. They said, hey, wait a second, let me go this way. They were going against the tide and it worked out. If you feel alone, deep divers, you should really be aware of this important information that I'm about to share with you. You see, the people who embrace the power of alone, embrace the power of being alone, make a difference. You know why? Because you see, to change the world, to make a difference, you got to be different. Let me say that again. To make a difference, you have to be different. One more time. To make a difference, you have to be different. And the only way to do that is to embrace the power of being alone. So there you have it, deep divers. I'm here to remind you, being alone is not a curse. It's actually the greatest gift in disguise. It allows you to really know who you truly are. And before you think other people are having a better time than you, there are so many people who are lost in a crowd. Let me repeat that. There are so many people who are lost, deep divers, they're lost in a crowd. And there are so many people who know themselves because they've chosen to embrace their truth alone. And then just say, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello? Beautiful, deep divers. Let's breathe. That was powerful. Let's go. Whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. I want everyone, deep divers, right now to smash that like button if you support the real. Share this video with someone who's alone. Subscribe. Once again, smash that like button, share this video, and subscribe. And make sure you go and check out the #1, deep divers, the #1 best-selling book. What is it? Feel Alive by Ralph Smart on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/thebook. The Bible of becoming your greatest version. And go and check out the latest new book, the Book of 1111 Infinite Quotes by Ralph Smart at ralphsmart.com/thebook. The secret recipe to becoming your greatest version. And go and get the Good Ass Piranha shirts, deep divers, for men, women, children, even cats at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. Deep divers. And if you're a sexy ass model, woo, with a whole lot of heart, you want to model the clothing? Well, go and buy some. We're doing the fashion show in Miami. If you want to be an Infinite Waters model, let me know, okay? Why you have what it takes. Look, I'm here to remind you, we are never alone unless we abandon ourselves. Don't abandon yourself today, deep divers. Love yourself, accept yourself, because you are enough. One love. Peace. Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, make sure you smash that like button if you support the real. Share this video, subscribe, smash that like button if you support the real, and leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation, and let me know how this video inspired you. One love. It's one love. One love. Peace. Peace. Peace, deep divers.